Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and good night. Hi guys, Dundas here. So I'm just holding the mic here, so it's a little bit clearer. I've noticed in my other videos, the voice isn't as clear. So let's see if this makes a bit of a difference. Now it's day 474, I think. Getting super close to my goal of 500 in a row. Tonight at the gym, I went for a maximal effort. However, my excuse is it's probably because I'm, reduced sleep, blah blah blah. However, there was a couple of fellas kicking the bag at the gym whilst I was doing my pull-ups for maximal effort, and I didn't really realize, but all those little micro vibrations makes a huge difference with the amount of grip I have to sort of impose onto the bar to prevent myself from slipping. So they may have stuffed me up a little bit, but that's okay, because it's probably not at the time I was a little bit frustrated, but overall it's probably a good thing because it forces me to become more adaptive, not to purely have the same type of environment as previous where I've been able to achieve my maximal effort. So this just puts a bit of a hurdle for me to work towards, and in future I might get someone to kick the bag whilst I'm on the bar and get them to try essentially pull me off the bar by kicking the bag, and bit of a fun and game. They get a cardio session, I get a forearm grip work, workout itself. But anyways, I want to actually talk to you guys. I know I've spoke for about a couple of minutes now, but I want to talk a little bit more about just a continuation of kindness, and how it's helped and guided me in my journey in life as a human. As me, I should say. I'm a human, I'm an individual, I'm Dundas. I guess this is going to link with my previous story, how a lovely lady on a deathbed was kind enough to take, for a start, she was able to remember my name, and she had only known me for 5 days, and I don't know, I'm still shocked, and I feel I don't know the word for it, but every time I think about it, I'm like, oh, it's totally unreal. I don't know, to smile, to cry, just those emotions are just wild. Anyways, it's a link to that actually, and it's something that happened which I feel as though, sorry, I keep on looking to my left here. I don't know what that means or represents. Is it maybe thinking, me lying? I don't know. I'm not lying, I promise. Just not really good with eye contact. It's just the way I've been brought up, and yeah, trying to improve that. So eyes on you guys and watching. So without what had happened to going on this placement in the palliative care ward, I wouldn't have even made it to the palliative care ward. So once again, I was in my second year of uni. This is probably at the start of it. I had some crappy placements and things just weren't going my way. In the process of a breakup, messy relationship, and I was ready to call it quits. At the time, I was working at a supermarket, doing night fill and fruit and veg and stuff like that. And it was good pocket money. Retrospectively, looking back now, essentially it was more pocket money than anything. It's probably something, I only did like 12 hours a week, 12 to 20 hours a week, and it was nice to have the money to blow on anything and everything, where I probably should have saved some of it. Anyways, that's besides the point, and another learning factor for my life in general. So I was working, and my boss at the time, I have actually spoken to him since, and it was literally 15, 16, 17 years later where I messaged him after this conversation we had, and essentially I sent him a little text, and said thank you, essentially, from the bottom of my heart. I wouldn't be in my shoes now if it wasn't for him. So fast forward to this night, crappy day, crappy shift. You're doing placements, so you're working from 7 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. And then at 5 o'clock you start work, and that's 5 till 9 o'clock sort of thing. So that was my day. That was when I had placements. That's essentially what it was. So I was having a chat to him, and I just was chatting to him, and I don't know, for some reason I felt as though I just had to open up a little bit more to him. I'm not sure if he noticed that there was something going on with me. Like, I guess I was a bit sad and I looked a bit down because of relationship issues, but there was a few other things as well. And he asked if I was okay. And I was just talking to him, and I said, I don't know if, nursing's for me. I think I should quit. I'll find something else to do. I'll go back to uni and do something else. Or maybe I should defer it and should I just work here for a year just to get my mind straight and so forth. Now, the boss, this fella who was my boss at the time, nice guy, very intelligent actually. And he said to me, look, Dundas, what I'll give you a few offers right now and give you some options right now. Option 1 is, yes, you stop working, stop studying, and tomorrow I'll get a contract out. You'll sign a permanent contract, essentially, for permanent employment at the supermarket, and we'll get you into a management training program. You'll end up with up to X amount of dollars each year, which is pretty good for retail. I think it was like 70,000 Australian dollars, and that was pretty good for someone with no formal external education and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good, And then what he said to me almost hit me in the guts a little bit, and his words weren't mean, but they were honest. What he told me was, well, these are his words. I hope I'm doing it justice. Dundas, this is your other option. It wasn't an option, I should say. It was what he told me. He said, well, your other option is essentially continue and persevere and see how you go. But in addition to those words, it was, Dundas, if you don't continue and you decide to defer, look at for me as example. I was a law student doing a double degree. I was in my final year. I deferred my final year. It's been 5 years since I've deferred. Do you think I'm ever going back? It's a no. So, instead of being able to make a relatively good amount of money, I'm stuck in this job, which is decent, but I'm stuck for now. And that just opened my eyes up. This dude, working retail, who was just about to finish a double degree in law. He's a retail manager. Yeah, don't get me wrong, retail managers can kick ass, but he studied, 5-6 years and got nothing out of it. And that was his biggest regret. He was still stuck paying a HECS fee, no qualifications from all those years of studies, and it was a bummer to him. And he essentially didn't want me to make the same sort of mistake as what he did. And though his offer of me signing up, getting a job tomorrow, getting into a training program right away was quite enticing, his other story, on the other hand, of explaining to me that he had deferred his law degree and it's been 5 years now and he's never gone back, hit really hard, hit me, deep. And I thought, okay, let's at least finish the degree. If I don't like it at the end of it, so be it. So that's what I did. A couple of months later, I was continuing along in my studies and getting ready for a palliative care placement. And that kept me going. I think sometimes things go in a way for you. It's almost a journey in itself, and I don't know how to explain it. It's things essentially are just meant to be sometimes, and if you don't take that pathway, you may never ever experience whatever good's going to come out of that. However, if you do take the other pathway, you may experience something you'd never experience going the other way. So who knows? I guess without having that conversation with my old boss, I never would have experienced what I essentially call true kindness. That's all. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I'll run a little voiceover in a second. But that's I really had to say that. I don't know. It just felt like I had to tell someone about this. Anyways, thanks. Peace. Alright, guys. So when I said true kindness, what I was actually referring to, if you didn't pick up already, was the time I met a lovely lady who had very, very kind words whilst she was very unwell in bed, and said thank you to me. Yes. Sorry, this makes me a bit funny thinking about it. I need to stop thinking about it, but it's good, because it also makes me quite happy. Okay. Now, let's continue on. I'm not sure if you can see the guys kicking the bag there while I'm doing my pull-ups and hanging around. I think they were trying to be good and not kick it too much when I was hanging, but realised I was going to be up there for a bit, but it's okay. It was all fun and games. And I probably should have told them to kick harder. I want to just also mention just a bit about motivation as well. Tonight I was struggling to get to the gym, and I was super duper hesitant to actually hit the gym tonight and do my pull-ups in general. I actually sat in the car longer than what my workout was itself, and it was a little bit of self-pity, but a lot of psyching myself up and weighing up why I should go into the gym, why I shouldn't go into the gym. And in the end, the benefits outweighed the cons, and it took me a long time to psych myself up, and maybe I dawdled a little bit and Instagrammed and flicked through a couple of photos. But overall, it was me trying to hype myself up enough to get into the gym, do my pull-ups, do some push-ups, do another exercise, and get out of the gym. I was able to do that successfully, as you can see, by me getting into the gym. But I did waste a lot of time thinking about it and psyching myself up. Sometimes overthinking things and umming and ahhing about something can prevent you from achieving greatness. If you are thinking about doing something, go do it. What is stopping you? Especially in situations where there is essentially nothing other than motivation stopping you, why not just try it? And if you feel as though, this isn't for me, after you've completed it, then don't do it again. Try something different. That's okay. But why go to the effort of wanting to do it, then being hesitant to performing that task or taking on that experience? That's just silly. And, it's when you look back on it, you can look at it and think, oh, why didn't I just do it? It's half an hour of my time. It's nothing. But motivation is a big key factor for people achieving greatness. And sometimes if you don't feel that motivation or that excitement or energy towards doing something, you sit back and hold back, and you don't become the best you. And you should always try and be the best you.